My name's Jordan Young. I'm a track and field thrower from Canada. For over a decade, I've been working to understand every aspect of throwing. I'm an athlete, which means the only way to be great is through raw hard work and determination. This is my story. I'm going to be taking on one of athletics' biggest challenges, the Olympic Games. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of JY Throws. In today's video, I want to start off by talking about some supplements that I'm taking. And now that I'm getting into the heavy lifting portion of the year, I really need to make sure that I'm taking all these supplements. So right now, I want to print out a couple stickers to remind myself as I'm walking out the door and laying in bed at night. There's nothing worse than getting halfway to where you need to go and realizing that you forgot something. So by printing out these stickers, I'm just setting myself a daily reminder as I go to open my front door. And sometimes if I'm in bed already, I need a little bit of extra motivation to get out. So this is my little bit of motivation.
We all believe in bent leg finishes.
Coming up later in this episode, I start to experiment with this cue. But first I want to say, if you guys enjoyed this video or find yourself learning something, if you can, smash that like button so we can get it out to as many throwers as possible. And if you really enjoy it, subscribe for more videos like this. Anyway, let's start things off with the supplements that I take. And the first thing that I want to mention is that supplements are used to help with recovery and should be supplementing a good diet. So the biggest thing that's going to help you with your strength gains and energy levels is going to be making sure that you're eating a good balanced diet. But on top of that, there's a few supplements that you can take that can be really helpful to help speed up recovery times, to help you add mass, and to help you avoid injuries. The number one supplement has to be some whey protein powder. The second thing that I take is some casein protein, and this is slow digesting protein that I take before bed. The next supplement I like to take is creatine. Fish oil is some ZMA. For injury prevention is some magnesium. And the final supplement that I take for recovery and energy is this essential amino acid / energy mix. I want to switch gears and start talking about some throwing. So I want to send you guys over to Justin Rohde at his throws clinic to have him explain how he does a stand throw.
We all believe in bent leg finishes, okay? That means when you go to finish your throw, you're not going to triple extend and jump on your feet and try and lift the ball. You're going to transfer the ball from the back to the front flat. And in order to have a flat transfer, those legs have to stay bent, right? Stand throws to start. So you're throwing this way, get lined up like you're gonna do a split squat with a barbell, and that's where your power position is. We're gonna get our ball in, we're gonna open our left hip, so our toes pointed out forward, and then we're going to just hold the ball back on our right foot, and we're gonna shift the body forward, okay? You shift forward, and then turn the shoulders to finish. You cannot apply force with just one foot on the ground, right? And you certainly can't apply force when you're in midair, right? You call it zero support, single support, and double support. Double support with both feet on the ground is the only time you can actually accelerate the implement, okay? Distance at release is mostly determined by the speed of the implement at which it leaves your hand. That means in your final, you need to keep your feet on the ground for as long as possible. So your stand throws should look like your feet are gonna turn, but they're not gonna leave the ground, okay? Here, shift, turn, throw, feet turn, they stay bent, but they never leave the ground. And that way you can accelerate the ball all the way to the end. Shift, turn. Shift, turn.
So in my shot put throw, there's two main problems that have come up in the past that I've tried to fix and never really had a lot of success on. The first problem that tends to happen is that on the finish, I'll be coming around, but my legs extend all the way too early. And now from here, I need to get the shot put around further. So I end up pulling off and pulling back into the circle with my off arm, taking power away from the shot put. And another thing that happens is that my legs extend early, and then I start jumping off the ground. And like Justin was saying, when the feet aren't on the ground, I can't accelerate the shot put. And if I'm jumping when I'm already here and I need to finish the whole rest of the throw while I'm in the air, the shot put's just pushing back on me and I'm not actually accelerating it and putting extra force into it. So I need to keep my feet on the ground longer. And this year, if I want to have a shot at making the Olympics, I have to fix these technical problems. So I want to start off by explaining why I like some of the things that Justin's talking about. So one of the main positions that I really like Justin talking about was taking the shot put from the back and sending it all the way to the front on a straight path while keeping your feet on the ground so that you can constantly accelerate the implement.
You're going to transfer the ball from the back to the front flat. You shift forward and then turn the shoulders to finish. Like your feet are going to turn, but they're not going to leave the ground. And that way you can accelerate the ball all the way to the end.
And one of the ways to accomplish this is with the bent leg finish. So by working on the bent leg finish, it just means that you're not going to jump and you continue to stay on the ground and continue to work. And the other thing that I really started to notice is that as Justin shifted from his back leg to the front leg, he was getting a lot of his weight over top of the block leg, which is a feeling that I've been working on in discus lately. And by shifting his weight over top of his block leg, now he's got his weight set up over a nice axis that he can use his off arm to pull him around and get the shot put nice and straight on a straight path, keeping the feet on the ground. And now I want to take a quick look at Ryan Krauser's technique and point out some of the same positions that Justin was explaining. So looking at Ryan's technique, I don't want to focus on anything out of the back, and the position that I actually want to start with is right here. And from this position, you can see that Ryan has all of his weight over top of his right leg in the middle. And from here, he needs to do what Justin was talking about. He needs to shift his weight down to the toe board and get his weight nice and over top of his block leg so that he's got a good axis to rotate around on the finish. And right here, you can see the shift of his body weight from his right leg to his left leg. Now in this position, you can see that Ryan has his block leg hip almost over top of his block foot. And you can see that he's got both legs bent. And from here, he's throwing that off arm around his body. He's turning the right leg in the middle and getting his center of mass over top of his block leg. And the combination of those three movements drives the shot put straight. And you can see Justin Rohde doing the same thing here. The legs are bent, the off arm's going to open, the weight's going to transfer over top of the block leg, and the right foot's going to turn in the middle, and that causes the ball to travel nice and straight. And in this position, you can see it's right before the shot put leaves his fingers, and he still has his feet on the ground. And this is one of the most crucial parts of the throw, and one of the things that Ryan Krauser does incredibly well. He stays on the ground and accelerates the implement all the way to the finish. And it's not until after the shot put leaves his hand that he switches his feet. Anyway, over the last week, I've been working on these positions, and it's just going to take throwing a lot and thinking about it every day in practice. But here's some of the main things that I've been feeling over the past week. Now I want to start to experiment with some things, and keeping my leg a bit more bent to get my weight over top of it, and then rotating around it. Alright, I don't want to feel that my hips are coming through, and then I'm dragging my foot. I want to be using that foot to drive me into the throw the whole time. So really think about getting over my block leg and then feeling myself turn on that foot in the middle. I want to try to play around with a few full throws, and right now I'm going to try to think about that bent leg finish because it feels like it's helping me get over top of my block leg better and work with my left side. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Overall, I'm quite pleased with how shot put's going. And breaking old habits and starting to learn new positions takes throwing a lot, so I'm going to need to continue to get out and practice as much as possible and work on these positions. But if I can stay down on the ground longer and continue to push all the way into the finish without pulling off with my off arm too hard, then I feel like I'll really start to line up my power. But that's all for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, subscribe for more. I will see you in the next one.